Okay, we're going to give this a shot and see. I tried to clean up most of the stuff on the tablet, so we're going to see how long this will record. If not, I'm just going to throw it out the window. And yeah, I probably will, because I'm getting very, very frustrated with it. This is the cutting of the black raspberry and vanilla. I don't know why I always want to keep out the vanilla. So let's see if I can get a good break in there. It's hard to break the seal, or I should say the suction. But once you get it going, it comes out really, really good, and you're not seeing nothing, are you? Alright, let me see if I can adjust. Okay. So I'm just working this down and out of the mold. All the soap after it is aged will get cleaned and looking spiffy. The edges and whatnot. Let's see. We're going to let go. There. And see, like the edges, that all gets smoothed down and cleaned up. This is the side. This is the top. So, and then you just smooth this down. After it ages and it gets really, really hard, then all those will be cleaned up. It's no big deal. Let me put this on here and get this one going. These are the tall, skinny molds, and I got these ones at Brambleberry. I know they're all over the internet. You just have to go and check it out and see which ones have the best deal and where they're made and all that good stuff. I love the silicone molds. But if I go into a bigger production, you have to sit here and mess with just a couple of these little molds. You'd have huge batches to make, which wouldn't be too bad. I've been looking at a couple that made 40 pounds of soap at one time, a pour. And I love to go dream on soap equipment. This is where I got this cutter. I have had it for years, and I'm telling you, they make them to last. And they're pricey, but with the realization they last. You're not going to sit here and keep buying a cutter over and over and over. They have been making soap equipment for many, many years. I love to go over there and just drool and daydream. And see how that little end right there, that's what I'm hitting. As soon as it gets that suction broke on the bottom, then it just slides right out. And this is real easy. I don't know if you can see me pushing that in, but here we go. There. And this is the second one. But I'm going to clean up the edges of an over pour. And I keep all of the little peels because I'm going to show you after if I have enough space. It's still making me mad. I just like to get that part off. Okay. Let's see if I can move this out of the way for you. Okay. I have several other videos that I have made, but because of the problem with the space, I was having a problem getting them uploaded. So they will be up to see the rest of this. There's one of the delicate swirls. See how I wanted it just kind of like on the side? Makes it a little bit different. Very nice. See? Okay. I hope you like it, Sania. This is for part of her order. So, and I wanted her to be able to see the video of all of it being made. Every one of them are different. Light. Now if I would have poured in the middle, they would have came out like the other ones. See, here's one. Isn't that beautiful? I like just the delicate of the swirl. So now you guys know how to do another swirl. It would have been all the way through like this if I would have put more in, but these would have been light, and then it would have been darker and darker. And I just think that the delicate swirls are pretty in the soap. And that's the end piece. Okay, well, let me get, let's see, it's still wet, but it cuts very good without a lot of lines in it, as you would get with a harder soap. So it's not fun cutting it when it's still, I mean, it's solid to be able to move around, but once you cut into it, it's just a little wetter, as you can see. All right. Sure that was up against there. Turn this on. Don't want my lunch to burn. I am so bad about not eating right. anything because I get way too busy. And when I settle down, like, geez, what's wrong with me? You dummy, you're hungry. See? Each one different. I love that little swish. And I won't show them all to you, but you get the drift. But now, those are pretty. Okay, what I wanted to show you is if I have a little bit left over, I just pour it in something like that, and then here's some of my trimmings. And I love to make, oops, I guess I shouldn't have moved that chair. It's holding something up. But anyways, my back is killing me. So I'm going to sit right here. I make Victorian soap balls. This is really old. They used to take all the little bits and pieces of their soap that they had bought, probably from France, because I told you the story. Well, maybe I didn't tell you the story about, long time ago. You were not allowed to make soap at home. Nope. There was only a couple of small, soap makers that had the license. They were put on a list, and they were the only ones that could make the soap. So, you had to buy the soap from them, of course. And back in the Victorian days, they would get their soap. You can add more, take little away, or what. See how Play-Doh-y it still is? It's not real hard. Then I just take and I scoop up. And I just mold it. And it's so easy once you're using fresh soap. And then you just play with it. But that's what they would do, and then they would melt it down, take all the little soap pieces, melt it down, and then add herbs or flowers or things like that. Very, very pretty. And they can get pretty, nowadays it could get pretty expensive, just the little soap balls. So, you new soapers out there, there's something that you didn't know. But you can take all different colors and whatnot, and then I set it with the other soap to age, and then it gets very, very hard. And then to make it nice and pretty and smooth, I just run it under some water and get all of the little bumps and stuff out, and then set it aside. Run it under water again, set it aside, and it's nice and shiny, and it's beautiful. But when I was selling these at the, I should have got my little stash out so you could see it. I would sell these, I would wrap them up in a little bit of cloth, especially like a little bit of lace or something, and tie it. It just depended on what I had or what people had given me. And then I would sell them for like $1. It depended on where I was at. I might sell them for $2 if they were, pretty big soap ball. And they smelled so good. And I noticed that men kept coming and buying them. And they were, mostly the local men. And I said, "What are you doing with those soap balls?" I don't think I can get in here. That's okay. And then they started laughing. They said, "Patti, You know, these are the best car fresheners that I have ever used. And I go, what are you talking about? Well, they would take that ball, of course I had it wrapped in something, and they'd stick it underneath the seat. And in the summertime, when it was hot in the vehicle, you open up that door and you could smell the fragrance. You could smell the fragrance out of the soap, and it was very, pleasing to them. So I says, you little stinker. Well, then one of the men's wives came up and was buying them. I says, are you buying them for the same reason that your husband? And she says, oh no, I stick these in my drawers because they last forever, and all my clothes just smell so good. So she used them as a drawer sachet or whatever. So I thought, you little stinkers. So guess what I did? Someone would look at those soap balls, Victorian soap balls. I'd tell them what everyone was doing. And man, I would have this huge ball, plastic, it looked like a big old fish bowl with a lid on it. I had poked holes in and put a big sign, Victorian soap balls. And I couldn't keep them. I was only there for 1 day a week on Friday, and that whole thing was gone. I mean, it just strange. So anyway, like I said, you don't have to throw away any type of soap. So I still got a little bit left, and I might just add to it or what. But once they're all cleaned up, right now they kind of look matte, the matte finish. But after they dry, and you take it and you put it in some water and then rinse it again and just set it down and let it dry, it will be really, really pretty. Just be glistening after they were already dry. So all of the colors, whatever you're going to use, will come out. So, alright, enough said from an old hillbilly. Have a blessed day, and everyone stay out of trouble. And I don't know how many other videos I'm going to make, but I'm going to be busy. I guess if you want to, leave me a comment if you want to see me make a few of the Christmas kind of little things that usually goes very well out here. So, until then, bye-bye.